Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine Young and I'm a creative. And people have asked me, what is a creative? All creative means is I am a professional artist and I do tons of different things. I have been a professionally paid creative for 15 years now. And I do all kinds of stuff from illustration, paper art, graphic design, marketing, these YouTube videos. I'm an author. All these things, they're all creative ideas, processes, different types of art. I do it all. And so when I found this trend on YouTube, I knew I had to jump on it, y'all. I had to jump on it. So the trend is professional artist versus a children's coloring book. And y'all, I thought, oh my gosh, why don't we make it professional artist versus a vintage children's coloring book? And let's make it vintage fabulous. So y'all, I scoured and I searched and I found what I thought would be the greatest children's coloring book to do this with. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. Look at Shirley. Oh, look at this book. It is gonna be so great. So I got super excited, picked this up. This is actually from 1936. So I got really excited about this. I'm like, this is the book we'll do. This is the one we'll choose. And then I started paging through it. So let's open it up and see what I found inside for options. Here is the first spread, y'all. Yeah, it's just a gate. It's just a gate. And it says, movie people go to work through gates like these. Okay, I mean, this book's gotta get better, right? So I kept paging through it, assuming that it would get better. So just pictures of Shirley's cake and pictures of Shirley's tea set. Okay. Pictures of Shirley's veggies, her refrigerator and stove. Where are the pictures of Shirley Temple? Y'all, I kept paging through. The closest I got was Shirley Temple's chair she sits in during filming and some clothes she has worn, which were colored in by some poor child that was just looking for a picture of Shirley Temple. Going through this entire book, there wasn't one picture of Shirley. However, we did get her pets and her turtles with names painted on their shells. I'm pretty sure that's a way to kill turtles. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to paint on their shells. So, chickens. Hey, there's like a little doll at least, right? Yeah, I went through this entire book and there was not a single picture of Shirley Temple. That's right, false advertising. There wasn't a single picture of Shirley Temple in this whole book. So, to honor every kid in the 1930s who was disappointed by this coloring book, I'm gonna use this coloring book and we're gonna make something awesome. So I wanted to pick a vintage coloring book because I wanted to create a vintagey image. That was the whole idea behind it. And I was thinking, what if I made the image kind of a play on a vintage postcard? Like whatever I made kind of looks like a vintage postcard. And I really think some of these images could work for that, especially that image on the first page. I think that could really work for that idea. So I took a picture of the front page and I took that image into Photoshop and I really brightened up the background so it was white, so it was nice and crisp. And then I gave it a border like it was a vintage postcard and I printed it out on cardstock. And here's how it turned out. I created a fake kind of postcard border. I made the background color nice, bright and white to color. I kept the words kind of dark because I think we can do kind of a pun on this. Like the postcard can kind of be making fun of these words based on the imagery we create. And I'm just gonna color this in and try to make something inspired by a vintage postcard. And I have been getting really into vintage postcards. I will link a video up here of me doing a haul of a ton of vintage postcards. I've been really getting into like the fun imagery, the creepy postcards, and I think this lends itself great to turning out like an image from a vintage postcard. Okay, y'all, let's get coloring. I am just gonna use a huge box of colors that I have and mainly coloring pencils, and let's get going. So I have this huge box just of coloring pencils and crayons and markers and such, and I'm gonna use this to create our vintage postcard scene. Here are some vintage postcards that I have that are Halloween, and I'm gonna take inspiration from these for our new piece. Do you see how they have the outer border just like this one? I hope to really give it that vintage postcard look when I'm done. Okay, so first thing is first, I'm gonna kind of plan out the layout for this postcard. I think this is gonna work perfectly as a creepy fence, all ready for Halloween. Okay, so the pumpkins, they are done. I think they look super cute. And now I think I'm gonna work on the black cat and I'm gonna color in the fence. It took me forever to find the gray colored pencil. So I have some test trials in here that I just repeated over and over again, even though they're wrong. So I'm gonna color everything gray now, and then I'm gonna go back in with like some shading that's gonna cover up those mistakes. So the key to fixing mistakes when you're creative is to make them look intentional. Usually I make mistakes looking intentional by smoothing them out, repeating them, just anything you can do to make it look like you did that on purpose. Okay, so I think I am done with the fence now. Working with a crayon was definitely not my favorite, but I think it did okay, you know, for what it is. It is a crayon, but it was really the best I could find for the gray that I wanted to do for that. So, yeah, this has been an adventure. Okay, so next I think I'm gonna do the spooky tree. So I basically outlined the tree the way I want it now, and I'm going to start coloring in with a brown. I used a lot of black on the tree. I kind of want it to become like a black spot that pulls your eye and makes the postcard heavy on that one side. And I honestly think that the brown I'm using is not brown enough. It is not dark enough. So I'm gonna use this over the entire tree, and then I'm gonna go back over it with something else because I don't think this is dark enough. So I think the tree feels pretty good now. I'm pretty excited with it. It pulls, but now it kind of does feel darker than the rest. I have a feeling when I get done with this, I might need to go back through like almost everything and touch it all up to make it more cohesive. But that just comes with, I mean, I'm just using low quality art tools. Since I'm mainly a digital artist, I just basically keep a box of art tools. You know, I don't keep really high-end art supplies. So we'll see how it goes, but so far so good. I'm pretty excited that the concept is working out. So after coloring this for a while, I do think the pumpkins need to stand out more. So I am going to use a paint pen and I'm gonna color those pumpkins, just make them pop. Another thing I don't like about colored pencils is when you color over like pencil marks, like regular pencils, it like embeds it in the paper and there's no way to get it out, even with an eraser. I find that super annoying. I think I'm at the point now where I can color in the sky and then take another look at whether this whole composition is balanced or not, because there's definitely parts that pop at you and move back. And it's just based on the different materials I used. I used markers, pencils. I should have probably been consistent across the board, but really I'm just dealing with what I had. So I am getting really close, y'all. It is getting really close to being done. I need to do some ground color here. I'm gonna keep the white in there because when fire burns, the brightest part is at the bottom, so I'm gonna keep that like that. Looking over this, what I really think it does need is some of the areas on the fence and such that are black to be blackened up even more. So I think I'm gonna go in at the end with a nice thin black pen and really trace over some lines and make everything pop. Yeah, so using a black marker over the lines is really helping make things pop. So I'm just about done, y'all. I can't wait to show you the finished project. All right, y'all, I'm ready to show you the final piece. Now, let's just take a look back of what we were working with. We were working with a coloring book picture that was just a gate, because every child who buys or asks their parents to buy them a coloring book of Shirley Temple really wants a picture of just a gate. It had that funny line on it. And here's what it became. Here it is, y'all. All finished, put in a retro vintage frame. It is finished. Ugh. And that line at the bottom kind of becomes a pun of either Hollywood being into Halloween movies or Hollywood being evil itself. And I think it turned out fantastic. If I had to do this over again, I absolutely would have maybe bought professional level markers, pencils, something like that, and kept my medium consistent. But for what we started with and what it turned out, I think it is absolutely spooky, absolutely haunted. And you know what? It's a little vindication for every kid who got that horrible coloring book, wishing it was something this kind of fun. So there's the finished project. Ugh, I'm really proud of this. Oh, and just for reference, this took about 4.5 hours to do. So just know that what was a short amount of time for you was not a short amount of time for me. So if you like creative content like this, please subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around. I do a lot of creative content and a lot of vintage related content. So I'd love to have you join for the next one. And stay creative, y'all. Bye. Lily, do you need in the video? I haven't even started filming yet. This is a new for you. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Oh, yeah, it's new for you to eat in the video before we even start. Yes. Lily's a good girl. Is it okay if I put you down? I know you were pissed. I know. Oh no, y'all, she's turning. Oh goodness, I'm shaking the table. That didn't work so well. Yeah, I think that looks good. Oh, and then, look, if I just press a little harder, I don't have to go back. Oh no, I broke the pencil. Classic. All right, y'all, I'm ready to show you the final project. Nope, it's a product. It's not a project.